Howdy lads, so I'm working on Stream Shenanigans 66 at the moment for release next week, so in order to not be bereft of content to provide you this week, I thought I'd jump into some games and try and explain my thought process as I play live, regardless of what the outcome will be. We're going to hop into battle in the Jagdtiger. Woe betide anyone at the moment who plays talentless TDs in the current meta, but I thought it would be challenging and different as I'm mostly a light and potentially medium tank player, so be interesting to see what skills we can summon that will help us out in a tank such as this. So, what are we immediately thinking? One arty, let's duly take note of that. One light tank. WZ132 versus even 90. You'd favour the WZ in a straight up fight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 TDs, one of which is a shit barn, so we can assume that is fine hash. Tier 10 medium tanks are always a worry. Okay, so what am I thinking? Well, I certainly don't want to get out a mattress and have a kip around base. I have a very powerful tank in this matchup. If we're looking at this, the enemy team don't have a lot of heavies, not a lot of holding capacity. Look at the enemy team's lineup. What has armor? What can stand in front of me and go, okay, Jagdtiger, you and your 276mm of pen can't do anything here. What can do that? Hold down Basante, yes. Oh. Hold down Conk, hold down E75TS to a certain extent, but there's not an awful lot. There's not an awful lot of holding capacity. So it makes me, in a tank like the Jagdtiger, with a really, the highest hit pool on any TD at tier 9, not the highest hit pool on any tank at tier 9, as I was corrected when I stated that the other day. That's actually the Malshin. But yeah, 2,100 base hit points complemented by my improved hardening and any field modifications I may or may not have. So it makes me want to be very aggressive in this lineup, because I don't believe in the ability of the enemy team to hold me back if I play my aggression right. Shall have to see. Interesting bit of trivia for you. Noticing when I was looking at the Jagdtiger's stats before I started here. The Jagdtiger and the Waffenträger at Panzer IV, which are your... No, it's not worth me taking damage. Superstructure of the Jagdtiger, 250mm, 150mm on the upper plate, 100mm on the lower plate. Simply not worth letting that Conqueror sideswipe out and plow a shot into me. We're certainly not going to give him the opportunity to take damage off of us in this situation. Why would we? We're just going to try and get a sneaky shot or two. Now we've got to hit the left side. Oh, Object 140 is there as well. This Conqueror is doing the right thing. Trying to, oh, and that is a lovely shot right there. That is an absolutely stupendous shot. Right into the weakest point of the Conqueror's cupola there. Stupendous, and he is firing APCR now. That APCR, quite honestly, should butter the Jagdtiger. Outside of the gun mantlet, you're looking at sort of 250mm. At minimum, it can complement itself depending on the angle. What the hell is going on? What? I mean, I'm gonna take this as a compliment by the enemy team, I guess. Okay, well, we might as well push on this Conqueror on the high ground, quite honestly. If we're gonna be surrounded. Oh, that was really poor play by me. Really poor play. Gonna take another 2 shots for that. Probably. aim for the engine, see if we can provoke an engine fire. Looks like we got critical damage there, not sure if that was an engine. We're not going to commit here. Can we pick up a kill on the Object 140? That's my question. No, we can't. I was pretty sure our C-52 would pick up the Conqueror, which is why I prioritized damage into another target there. Let's go reverse back, make sure we can't be flanked in this situation. That is quite phenomenally shit, isn't it? I'll do one foot. Oh, this is just a tragedy! It is a Greek tragedy of epic proportions. Oh my word, we should have claimed so much more damage there. That is absolutely tragic play by my good self. Okay, E75TS, we are gonna have to turn around, but for my money, he's gonna get the reload and the angle to kill us. Hey. Looks like we maybe can slide down here. Is this T-34 gonna be able to... 10 degrees of gun depression on that man. What tragic gameplay by us there. Tragic gameplay. Should have had a shot into the chaff hitter. Should have had a shot and a kill shot into the Object 140. We were way too liberal with the auto-aim there. I knew we shouldn't have just blazed away at the Conqueror, and I did it anyway. It was nothing but hubris and arrogance, and potentially has lost this game for the team. Really disappointing play by myself there. Well, let's move on to the next game and see if we can redeem ourselves. Okay, so we did top the team, but honestly, I feel like from a moral perspective, we should have been way above 30k damage there. It was a result of our poor play, but we were not, so I would like to be doing better there, but a good thing to get into the habit of doing if you are having a bad day in World of Tanks, or you're just not a great player, right? If you are constantly gravitating towards the top of your team, right, that's good. Regardless of how you're playing, regardless of what mistakes you think you might be making, right, recognize them, that's great. But what looking at the team scores does is it reminds you of what you had helping you, right? What you were working with, as it were. If you are towards the top of your team, regardless of whether your team played badly or well, it means you exceeded the expectation, right? So, good stuff. So, okay, 2 Arty, don't want to sit out in the open. CGC can drop a shell from heaven on top of us. IS-7, a dangerous adversary, no mistake. But other than that, do we have a lot of heavies? Chrysler and Defender might be troublesome frontally if they're hulled down. I mean, I can Capola shish kebab the Defender, 276mm of base pen, 352 with an APCR on the Jagdtiger. Oh, chef's kiss for this gun. Absolutely stupendous. I realised that I cut myself off when giving a bit of trivia about the 2 Tier 9 German tank destroyers, the Jagdtiger and the my word, well, that guy has elected to become good friends with the gangage. The Waffenträger Panzer IV and the Jagdtiger. Believe it or not, they both have exactly the same top speed and reverse speed. Despite the fact that the Waffenträger Panzer IV is unquestionably a more mobile tank. I mean, you can look at its horsepower per ton to tell that much. They actually have the same top speed and reverse speed, which is interesting. Okay, so we got T110E3 here, which is why I'm pushing up. I wouldn't be pushing up against these kind of numbers, right, if I was isolated. But what we can do is potentially work with this T110E3. My position here is going to be dictated by his position. I'm only going to move up if he does. I want to play sort of multiple angles, right? As in, I will stop him from being outflanked, and he will stop me from being outflanked. So I want to be not close to him, because then we can both be circled at once, right? I want to be far enough away that an enemy can't circle us, but close enough that I can support him if he is attacked. It effectively takes two talentless TDs and makes them almost perform on the battlefield as if they were talented tanks in terms of positional play. Alright, we are down by 4,000 health at this point. 5,600 health. Wow, this is escalating. So I'm kind of not wanting to show myself here, because I'm wondering if the enemy will try and flank this T110E3, but it looks like the IS-7 is going to fall back. There's a tortoise here. Got the question, how much longer will my subtlety be an asset here? Or is it? Okay. Alright, defenders just fired. I'm going to take that opportunity to start playing forward. Hopefully I can remain unspotted for a little while I'm approaching here. Maybe get a sneaky shot off. It's lovely stuff. Okay, alright, hopefully E3 should move up on the left side here. Alright, cool. So Tortoise obviously is an incredibly dangerous adversary. Gonna wait until the T110E3 comes up and I'm gonna pressure round on this defender. Try and do what I can here. It's lovely. I'm trying to push him back to get him into the line of fire of the... oh, that's a nice bounce. A nice bounce indeed. Alright. I was trying to push him back to get him into the line of fire of the T110E3, but no luck. Fairly easy wrap up on the Tortoise. Okay, now we have responsibilities back base ways, don't we? Our team have really not done well over there, so I'm going to see if I can convince this E3 to come back with us. Certainly, him being isolated up there is not going to do anything for the team. Let's see if we can plow forward here. I want to come up on the left side of this bush, potentially getting it in between my superstructure and the ISM will result in him not being able to spot my superstructure when he otherwise would, which would be very nice. Alright. Hello, darling. 597. I'm hoping for good things from this T110E3. I don't want to play advanced here because there's a Grill 15 on the hill. That's 750 alpha damage he will deliver very accurately. And without a shadow of a doubt will pen very easily. We're also looking at facing two opposing medium tanks here, Standard B and Skoda T50. That E3 did exactly the wrong thing there, plowing forward, getting himself isolated. Really poor play by that fellow. We're expecting to be flanked by the IS-7 here, which is why I'm pulling back. Gonna try and turn and take the aggression to him. I don't know how much health he's on. Doesn't look like an awful lot. Gonna try and pull out and block his vision as he comes round. With the knock here. And hopefully... Ah, Skoda. Oh, they haven't been spotted though. That's really unfortunate. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hope that this guy aims up, and we're going to try and place a shell right under his gun mantlet. Ah, that is really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Hopefully we'll be able to... What we can do now is we can reverse up this hill and plunge a shell straight down through his upper plate. Fair solution to the whole face-hugging IS-7 issue. Hey... Could we have won that if our T110E3 played more defensively? Probably not. It would have been closer, most certainly. Should have had the IS-7 down to a one-shot immediately there, but as I came down the lock, I actually caught it and it raised my tank up, which didn't allow the 7.5 degrees of gun depression present on the Jagdtiger to actually aim a shot at his lower plate, which was most unfortunate. But, yeah, T110E3, hate to say it, should have heeded my advice, came back. You don't split up your powerful tank destroyers when you're outnumbered and outgunned like that. Very, very poor play. Once again, topping the team, I don't really feel like there was a lot more that we could have done in that situation to kind of adapt. Perhaps we could have pushed sooner, but honestly, I don't think we could have. Right? If we pushed earlier, the IS-7 was still present. What prompted our push on that flank was the fact that the IS-7 relocated. Right? He moved away, therefore we only had two adversaries, which were the Defender... Oh, apologies. The Defender and the Tortoise, which meant we very definitely had the power play to push an overmatch. If we did it earlier, the IS-7 would still have been present and we wouldn't have been able to clean it up very easily, if at all. So, no complaints about my gameplay there, just luck of the draw really meant that we didn't win that one. But let's dive in to our third and probably final game. Let's see if we can win one. That'd be nice. Or I can just pour water all over myself. My word, I suck at basic tasks. My moistness aside, Object 261, dangerous RT, very quick reload, low arc, so we'll be safe behind very small buildings, to be honest. Has a very flat shell trajectory, as I say. Platoon with a Manticore and an SDRV, that is a dangerous platoon. Especially for me in a Jagdtiger, because there's not an awful lot I can do. Like, if I'm left in a Jagdtiger against that platoon, do I win? No. And I can't fathom any circumstance beyond them bollocksing it up that I win. So I will be prioritizing fire and my positional play to counter that platoon if I can, because it's so dangerous. Let's look at the rest of this. Waffenträger, Panzer IV, Leo PTA. Not much I can read into this. I'm looking at the map though right now and thinking we don't have an awful lot of presence on the... Ooh. That is lovely. We don't have an awful lot of presence on the west of the map, which is potentially alarming. Really nice to get an early shot there into that Leo. Shame we didn't anorak him. I mean, it is a Leo. You kind of expect it. Oh, gimme. Damn these houses. T100 LT doing some solid spotting on the opposing hill there. Let's look at this. What are we missing? The E75, TNH, Future, STRV, Manticore still unspotted to be expected, STB, T110E5. Okay, we've got a 215B defending base. I'm looking at this. I'm going to tell my arching to relocate. Alright. Oh, good stuff. That backchat is actually relocating. Good stuff from him. Nice to have an RT in the game. Later. Jagdpanzer's chilling around this corner kind of means a no-go in terms of aggression, unless I fancy losing 1,050 hit points. Crossfire, 300 damage. Possibly a Batcher AP, 100mm, 300 down for damage. So, we're going to assume that the Batcher AP is still up on that hill. Nice to know. Hoping this Manticore will show me a shot here. Oh, and just as I moved to avoid crossfire from the Jagdpanzer, that's when he moves. That is very frustrating. Now, I have to fall back completely here. Because if I get proxied, the level of crossfire that's going to come in, I can't engage this Jagdtiger here because of the presence that the enemy have on that flank, right? If I'm proxied here, I'm just going to get pounded. So I have to slowly kind of get myself out of this area. Otherwise, I'm just going to get slaughtered. Probably going to take another shot here, I would expect. Should be able to get out of here without getting spotted now. I would expect. Cool. Cool. It's a defensive assault, remember, so I'm always kind of prioritizing or weighted towards making the defensive play. Because I can certainly lose the game by being aggressive. I'm less likely to lose the game by being defensive, because it's a defensive assault. I win if we're alive at the end of the game. So on a defensive assault, I like defensive play. Is this Jagdtiger, Jagdpanzer isolated enough that I can make plays here? Dear, I'm gonna take a big hit here. Wow. And he thought I would take a hit there. Remember, we can't play aggressively on this Jagdtiger because of the level of crossfire that would be incurred. We want him to come in. We're basically inviting him in, because that crossfire applies to him as well. Right? That position is liable to crossfire if we attack, but also if they attack, because we still occupy this position. So I'm just inviting that guy in. $620 feels good, man. Wow, that's an angle I did not see coming. SDRV as well, Jesus. I can't move? Why exactly? What? Question? What exactly did I get stuck on there? I was holding the S key for dear life, and apparently I got stuck on that. My word, that is stingy. That is stingy behaviour by the game. Well, that's really disappointing. Let's see, what would have happened if we actually managed to reverse there? We would have been safe in this position, no doubt. And yeah, we would have been able to get maybe, I reckon, 3 more shots before we went down here, most likely. Where did our team go wrong? Obviously, no one on the 1-2-3 line, but that's not inherently terrible. It's not. The enemy were able to commit one Jagdpanzer up here and win the entire flank. That is terrible from a tactical perspective. They won this entire area with one tank. One. Now, was there anything we could have done about that? Well, if we mount aggression back here, we die. I doubt we get support. I doubt our heavy tank that was here would have come with us. But also, Leo PTA, AE Phase 1 in proximity there, Manticore on the top. Batchat, the level of crossfire that we take going in to engage this guy, even if we can't beat him with our DPM, is just absolutely ridiculous. There's no way we can win. I just don't understand how we committed nothing here. Absolutely nothing on this flank. And yet still had nothing that could fight this area. Yeah, I have to look back at the map in the video and see, did we just have all of our tanks over here? Really disappointing. Really disappointing. But again, I don't feel like there was any particular misstep that we can point at and say, this is what lost the game. Certainly not one that we're responsible for. Would it have gone better if we had fallen back at the start and tried to defend the 1, 2, 3, 4 line? Well, no. E75, TNH, T30, Chafitia. I mean, the amount of tanks that just steamrolled over that empty flank, we would have just been absolutely an awful staunch. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to play one more. I want to win a game. I should like to win. And I believe that we can. So let's put our head down, plow forward, and win a game in the goddamn Jagdtiger, because this is a beautiful tank, and it deserves a win. Give me a good one. I'm still hunting my ace tanker on the Jagdtiger, believe it or not. I would be like chuffed to finish off this video with an ace tanker in ye old German behemoth. Corellia, though, is not exactly something you look at and think Jagdtiger ace tanker on the cards. However, it's another defensive assault game. We like that from a tactical perspective as a talentless tank destroyer. What are we looking at here? Hawk 30, 410 meters of base field range, not exceedingly relevant to us at the start of the game. A lot of medium tanks at top tier. In fact, I've got 3 medium tanks and we've only got 2. But I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because it's swapped out medium tank for a TD here, and it's defensive assault, so not horrible. All of the heavies we can deal with frontally really easily, apart from the 705 if he's sideswiping. Let's look at this. Now, I would go forward and be aggressive here, just because it is my playstyle. Just my playstyle, I think, rather than the actual me thinking, oh yes, you should do this as a tank. Okay, that guy being spotted implies to me that there's a Hawk 30 in, where is it, this bush. So we're just gonna plow a couple of shots towards that bush, just because we're likely to connect with at least one shell. But yeah, Tiger 1, it's not blessed overzealously with ammo. It does have a decent contingent of it. I am sad in my veins. Come on. I'm suffering today. There's a video compiling my suffering. Admittedly, a lot of that suffering has been my poor play, but still, I am mildly indignant. So, defensive play. This is going to be a fairly dull game off the bat, I imagine, but hopefully it will turn into something relentlessly exciting. I'm looking at that other flank and thinking, are we likely to lose this area? No. T95 back here. That's an incredible strength. G-Sword as well. So I think I'm going to relocate, because I think we're more likely to lose this flank, and indeed we are. So, good seeing that. Probably should have moved a little earlier, but let's see if we can plow ourselves over here. We want to be aware that Hawk 30 is still unspotted, so we're going to watch out for our 6th sense going off here. Should tell us if he's in the middle. What we're doing is, if you look at this render distance, we're out of render distance of the enemy hill. Meaning that even if we do get spotted by the Hawk, the chances of crossfire aren't especially high, so we're not too worried here. Render distance is going to keep us safer than a lot of things would. That is lovely. Oh wow! I really thought a HE shell into the cupola of that tortoise would be picking us up a kill, but guess not. Another one should do the trick. Lovely. Well, +1 for irony. As soon as I relocated, we lost the other flank as well. Which, or at least all our forward tanks managed to die, which is remarkably odd in my estimation. I want to relocate to a safer position here where I'm not so exposed. I want to do that without getting spotted by the Hawk 30 for as long as I possibly can. But it looks like we're just going to have to accept that we're going to get lit here. I really want to relocate to the back here. We've got enough people camping there that can defend this flank for at least a little while. So let's get back into the recesses of Cornelia here and see if a full health Jagdtiger can make any significant difference to the outcome of this game. We're at a 9,800 hit point deficit. Let's start clawing that back, shall we? Defensive assault, let's defend it. 7.5 degrees of gun depression, 350mm of APCR pen to start using on some of these adversaries here. I reckon that bounced, so that's very sad. Ah, that is really unlucky. I have to try to get this tier 9 down as much as we possibly can. That's disappointing. Ooh, nasty. Okay, T95 with APCR, 329mm of pen off the top of my head. So, hold down status will not do us any favours against that kind of adversary. So let's bear that in mind. There you go. Just going to be pasting through our armour there. Ah, that's unfortunate. Wow, T95 clipped that shot. Amazing. Well, really not sure what to tell you there. I do not understand. I really don't. I mean, I can't fathom. I can't fathom how all of our heavies that were over on that flank died basically the second I left. My word. So one thing that you need to drill into your head, I'm going to win a game if it's the last thing I goddamn do, by the way. One thing you need to drill into your head when you're playing defensive assault is you should win. If you are on a defensive assault, you should win. We've lost twice now. And that's 2 games that, objectively speaking, like taking my personal bias out of it, objectively speaking, I want to look at the layout of our team and what we did, and I want to say it was our team's fault. Collective, perhaps myself as well, but I think collectively, people not being aware of how much of an advantage being on a defensive assault entails. Right? The ability to sit in front of someone and say, you have to attack or you lose. That is so powerful. So incredibly powerful. And certainly on Cornelia, that last game, judging by the fact that those heavies died so quickly, I think they attacked. Maybe even one by one, which is just brilliant. But unless you have an absolute categorical overmatch, unless you gain something really significant from attacking, you should not attack on defensive assault. that T10 may be about to develop issues. Yep, he has indeed developed issues. So we know there's an ELC even 90 perched in one of these bushes here, which is why we're unleashing a tirade of blind fire. We got HE shells for a reason, let's put them to good use. Where is Mr. ELC hiding? Not gonna lie, I seek more relevancy in this game than just blind firing at an even 90, but nor do I fancy yolling across the open, getting myself shot in the side by a load of TDs. Doesn't look like any of our HE shells connected, but gonna go with it's the thought that counts. Nice. Our team seems to have acquired control of that flank anyway, so I'm gonna fall back here and see if I can intercept this using Dev TS. Not that I think that's particularly necessary, given that, I mean, look at his position. He's just surrounded, crossfire from there, team here, like, yeah, that's one dead E75. Well, I will be upset if he manages to kill the LTTB in this situation. Because, well, to be frank with you, that would be dumb. Okay, oh, burn, baby, burn! Down to a nice, juicy one-shot for the Jagdtiger, if you would. Why, thank you kindly. Oh, I'm bad. This is news to me. Well, it seems we're gonna win the game where I've done absolutely fuck all. That is generally the way it goes. Despite if this guy sideswipes or not, we're not gonna slow down, not gonna stop, not gonna give him the time of day here, just gonna approach. Oh, that's really unlucky. Okay, all we can do, turn towards this lock. We're gonna plow our ass back up it and just, oh, damn it. Huh. Well, yep. A grand total of fuck all was contributed by my good self in the game that we finally won. I'm starting to understand why people don't enjoy playing World of Tanks. Oh dear. Well, ladies and gentlemen, not the content I envisioned uploading. I imagined diving it into a pool of ace tankers like Scrooge McDuck into his pool of money. Didn't turn out that way, but hopefully I've been able to impart what little wisdom there was to be gleaned from these battles. Are we going to get a consolation prize? Yes, we are! Oh, and it's a nice one as well. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure and a privilege making this video for you. If you are interested in catching me live, I am live every weekend and on Mondays. You can find the Twitch link in the description. It will take you to our schedule page. You can drop a follow, come catch us live, and we get up to all sorts of shenanigans, and hopefully you can learn some stuff about the game as well. So, thank you very much for watching. Do have a lovely day. Just a nice addition at the end. We actually did over 1,000 damage in that game because we did connect one of our blind shots on the ELC even 90, so good deduction there. Consolation? Yay!
Master of variety, creator of the classiest society, and nothing can beat him but the Tiger P, he's always delivering. That is no dystonia, his hands are calm. That is wargaming shivering, strong like a Range Rover, hot like a flamethrower. He'll beat your chieftain in the talk, game over. Raping games and KV trains, rushing in and crushing things.